Hey everybody, I decided that I would make you a exam prep video because we just never have enough time in class to do everything. So I'm going to go ahead and make this video, and hopefully this will give you a head start on the exam. I'm just going to show you the exam right now. I'm also going to show you a list really quickly here. I'll put this list in the announcement along with the exam, but these are the readings that you might want to go ahead and pull down that are going to be addressed in the exam. So you need to be familiar with them. There, nice big list, but I will I'll put that list in the here, let's see if I can make it easier for you. Yeah, right. But I'll put that in the announcements too. All right, so just so you know, they're in alphabetical order. I actually don't know what order they will come up in the exam, but these are the things you will need. Austin and Austin, Conklin, the movie Holding Ground. If you weren't in the classroom that day, you're going to need to watch it, and you can either stream it through the ASU library. If for some strange reason you have trouble finding it by plugging the name in at the ASU library, there is a 24/7 library chat people. You can ask them for help, or you can actually pay money to watch it by going to thisnewday.com. And if you do that, I strongly urge you to invite roommates, friends, family to watch it with you. It's a pretty darn good movie. These two little videos right here on systems thinking, the Kawashima Ginsburg reading, the McKnight-Kretzmann reading, and of course Smock. All right, let's put that away. All right, so where are you going to find the exam? It's going to be over here in the Dropbox on the left-hand side where you can see the menu, Dropbox. You're going to click it. You cannot see this right now. I don't know if you can read this, but it says item is not available. I can see it because I can see everything because I'm the instructor. But I can go into this, so I am going to go into this. And the first thing I'm going to do is focus on these test-taking tips, okay? I am going to go over them with you because you can't hear this too much. First of all, if you follow these tips, you are much more likely to get a good grade than if you don't. So you might actually want to copy and paste these tips on a piece of paper and print it out and put it to the side there so that you can keep referring back to them. Okay, so first of all, this is an open book test. We don't actually have a book, but it's open materials test. You can use anything that I ask you for. Just feel free to pull it down and look at it. What this is not is a collaborative endeavor. If I find that anybody is working with somebody else, you will lose all your points for the exam. So that is a really good reason not to just cut and paste things out of the readings and use them for answers, because I can't tell whether you and somebody else worked together and gave me the exact same answer or whether you've cut and paste from the book, which you should not be doing on an exam anyway. All right. Okay, so the exam is to be taken online, and I'm leaving it open for ever. I decided to go ahead and open it tomorrow afternoon, I think at 5 o'clock p.m., maybe 3 o'clock, I can't remember, but I'll remind myself and put that on the announcement as well. And it's going to stay open all the way until next Wednesday morning before class at 8 a.m. So that's great, right? You've got the whole weekend if you need it. So here's the thing. You do not need to complete this exam in one sitting. You can leave the exam and go eat dinner, go to a movie with your friends, come back to it later. However, you should not, because I'm giving you all this time, you should not just think, oh no biggie. If you wait until the deadline, or even if you are in the middle of taking the exam, when Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. rolls around, you are going to be locked out of the exam. Even if you are in it, nothing that you write after that point will be saved. So be sure you get it done before the lockout. Okay, so now here are some more tips for good points, for the best points. First of all, I'm testing to see that you've done the readings, so you should actually refer to the readings in your answers and make it clear that from how you answer, that to me that you actually did the reading, you know what's in them. Don't just pick up a quote from the very beginning or the very end of a reading and slap it in with quotes around it. I will not know that you read, all right? Second tip, if you happen to leave, this is more of a logistics tip, but if you happen to get up and leave in the middle of a question, use the save button, because you can't see it, but Blackboard is notorious for logging people out when they leave their screen and there's no action for 10 or 15 minutes, and anything you've already typed, even if it's still in there when you get back, when you hit submit or save later, it won't. It will have just been gone. So be sure and use that save button. Another option is to do the answers to your questions actually on a Word document and then copy and paste them into the place. Do not upload for me any Word documents. If you do work in a Word document, copy it and paste it into where the answer you would have typed it. But that is another way to make sure that Blackboard doesn't eat your work. Okay, this is a biggie. I would say most people lose points right here. Reread each question I've asked you after you've answered it. Before you answer it too, but obviously after you answer it. Many wrong answers, believe it or not, happen because students forget the exact question between reading it for the first time and writing it out. And I don't know why that is. I just know that, you know, maybe people's minds get to thinking about what they're thinking about and it carries them away from what I actually asked somehow. So you're going to lose points no matter how good your answer is if you didn't actually answer the question asked. So go back and make sure if your answer matches the question. Also, sometimes a question comes with 2 or 3 parts. Make sure you've answered all the parts. Don't go on until you've double checked that you've answered the question. Okay, I am looking for your understanding, not high word count. You do not get any more points for filling a page with stuff that doesn't matter. And I have to read everything. I have to read every word of everything. So short answers are good as long as they actually contain the content that tells me you understood the question. You will not lose points for short to the point answers. And finally, these questions have all different point values. Some of them have 5 points. Some of them are worth as many as 20 points. Give the questions that are worth the most points, the most attention, and the most time. I obviously thought that these were the most important or the most difficult or were supposed to take the longest if they got such high point values. So you should basically be thinking along those same lines as you are deciding how much time to put into any particular question. If you have been in class and if you have done the readings, this will be a no-brainer. If you have not done the readings or you're kind of person who doesn't remember the readings after you've read them, pull down your readings and just get them ready for yourself and prepare to spend as much time as it will take to refresh yourself or go through the readings for the first time if you didn't read them in the first place. All right, this test is not timed. As I said, you can come and go all the way through the period that it's open from Friday through Wednesday. And you can keep going back. It will allow you to try it multiple times. And it is due, which it says right here, November 21st at 8 a.m. 1 minute past 8 a.m. and it will lock you out. Believe it or not, people in my classes think, oh my gosh, I have so much time to do this, I'll just wait. And typically, I think they wait until about midnight on the night before it's due, and they get started, and they answer 2 or 3 questions, and they fall asleep in the middle of it, and they sleep right through the deadline, and that's it, 2 or 3 questions. No begging will help me. No begging will convince me to reopen the test for you after 8, especially if you waited until, and I can see when you start, when you come, and when you go. Not that I look, because it's like, why would I look you all up? But if you come to me and tell me something happened and you didn't get it done, I'm going to look and see when the first time you opened it was. And if you didn't open it until 1 o'clock in the morning before, just forget it. I can't help you there. All right, let's go to the most important stuff, which are the test questions. All right. I somehow need to, hang on, there's a begin button. I had to move this to punch it. Okay. Here is your first question. Austin and Austin, Chapter 2, posits that everybody has the capacity to be a leader. You will notice over here, right here, oops, right over here, here's your 10 points. That's a 10-pointer. That's kind of in the middle. Describe a situation and your skill set where you think you might personally be an effective leader. What leadership skills or experiences do you want to continue to grow or develop so you can achieve your personal cause-related goal? Now, let me just point out to you that you could answer those questions without referring to the content of Aston and Aston Chapter 2. But if you don't, you will lose points because I'm trying to see that you've read it. So answer the questions for yourself, but refer back to stuff in the Aston and Aston reading that informed you. All right, here's question 2. Thinking of the organizing models discussed in SMOC 1 and 2, chapters 1 and 2, watch each of these videos and then match the video to the SMOC voluntary model of action. So what you've got here are 5 videos, and this little thing over here, you see you can choose which of these on the left. You can see power, transformational, community building, civic women. Which one are each of these videos? So that's basically how you're going to do this. And there's not a whole lot else I can tell you about this question, except that hopefully you'll figure it out. Okay, question 3. We watched 2 videos on systems. So those are the 2 videos on systems. And we read an article on Conklin on wicked problems. Explain how homelessness is a systems problem and also what clues you in that it's a wicked problem. Again, refer back to the materials. I want to know that you got into them and you understood them. Question 4. I have given you 3 videos and I've asked you to pick one, just one, and dream up a voluntary action to address the problem explained in the video. What voluntary action would you plan? What SMOC model is the plan that you made? And if you want extra points, frame a good tagline for your voluntary action plan based on what we learned from guest speaker Jeremy Helfgott's training on framing. This is worth 20 points as it is, but you can get yourself even more points by doing the tagline. All right, question 5. The McKnight and Kretzmann reading is about asset-based community building, and you should be able to answer these 2 questions. What are the benefits of asset-based community building, and what are the negatives, the drawbacks of needs mapping? This is the last, nope, almost last. This is the next question, question 6, worth 20 points. Thinking about the movie Rebirth of Dudley Street and the article Checkaway. I don't remember if I put Checkaway on that list, but I'll go back and check it. You definitely need Checkaway. Explain the importance of respect for diversity to saving the Dudley neighborhood and give specific examples from the movie. Also, what teachings from the Checkaway article show up in the Dudley Street community experience? Here's some information for you if you did not happen to watch the Dudley Street article, movie. How can you find it? All right, so you may have to go watch it. Question 7 is a throwaway. It's a 10-point throwaway, so don't forget to do it. What exercises or topics that we tackled in class, rather than in your readings, but in terms of our class activities, has made the biggest impression on you and why? Okay, that means you had to be in class to answer it. And the last one is to look at the Kawashima-Ginsburg reading and answer all the following questions. Which of the political clusters do you think would lead to the best America and why? Which political cluster would you say probably describes your own political behavior best? And what changes do you think you will make to your political activities in the future? All right, so this question is about you. But again, refer back to the readings as you answer it because I'm looking to see that you read it. Okay, that's 8 questions. That one's a 5-pointer. This one's a 10-pointer, 20-pointer, 15-pointer, 20-pointer, 10-pointer, 10 points. All right, so that's gets you up to 100 points, and that is your exam. You can watch this as many times as you need to, I guess. And again, please don't forget to get started. This will take you longer if you haven't read the materials. So if that's you, you know that's you, pull down those materials and make sure that you leave yourself enough time to get them read and refer to the materials in your writing or you will lose points. Okay, that's it. I hope this helps.